Hello, and welcome back to Unmute Her. If you're new here, welcome, and I'm glad you found this space. If you have already subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm Tasneem, a PR and communications professional for nearly 20 years, a mom of 2 teenage boys, a 40-plus model, and a national finalist at the upcoming Miss Universe India 2025 pageant. I also hold the titles of Mrs. India Planet and Mrs. World Queen 2023. And more than anything else, I'm a woman who's rewriting her story. I began modeling at the age of 40, and I'm learning to love every new chapter that's unfolding. I went through this introduction very smoothly, but it took me about 20 takes. That's why I want to talk about something that is very relatable to all of us: self-introductions. You'd think I would be good at this by now, considering that I introduce myself daily, being a pageant title holder, a model, and a PR professional, but I struggle with it. I literally teach other women how to introduce themselves confidently. And here I am struggling with something as basic as my self-introduction. I'm never satisfied. I have either said too much or too little, or I've forgotten something important, or I'm awkward. The worst of it all is that feeling when you hear someone else's introduction and go, I wish I had said that. Why didn't I say that about myself? Has it happened to you? Truth is, this is not about me not knowing myself. It's about me not owning myself. Huge difference there. Let me talk about that discomfort a little bit. This didn't come from a lack of clarity. It came from me not embracing my reality, my achievements, my past, my growth, my journey, me not standing in pride, not being comfortable with who I am. That voice in my head that kept saying, who wants to hear about you? Don't brag. Keep it short. They're not interested. Don't be so full of yourself. Does that sound familiar? This, I believe, is not a lack of clarity, but a lack of permission that we give ourselves, of not holding ourselves in high regard. Own it. Especially as women, we've been taught to keep quiet, to not speak much, to be humble, to be modest. But humility should not mean invisibility. Now, let me talk about that feeling of not being satisfied with what you have said. That used to always drive me crazy. And I realized it's not about delivery, it's actually about preparation. I would walk into meetings, whether that was my communications field or in pageantry or in modeling, just winging it. It's about me, right? If I have to introduce myself, who knows me better than I do? Of course, I'll say something. But then I realized that I needed to prepare, because in just winging it, I would miss mentioning the most important details about myself. But then I began to take 2 minutes to mentally prepare 2 to 3 important and most relevant things I want to say in that meeting, relevant to the audience that I was meeting with. So, for example, when it came to PR and communications, I would talk about the work I have done in that field, the brands I have handled, the companies I have worked with, the nature of my work. And if it was pageantry, then I would talk about my purpose, how I've reinvented at the age of 40 and became a model. It is that simple. Just 2 minutes of mental preparedness. And that 2 minutes made a world of a difference. Another important aspect for me was to breathe, to take up space, something I really struggled with. I used to rush through my intro, talk fast, say the bare minimum, and move on. Because deep down, I felt like, who wants to listen to me or about me? Here's the thing I've learned. If I am in that room, I have value to add. And if I have value to add, they will listen to me. Now, I take a moment, I pause, and allow myself to say what I need to say in my own time. That simple act of slowing down and being okay with taking up space has really changed something. So, what is it that I have learned? My experience has been not just give my intro, but to own my story. It is my identity, my personality, my achievements. It's me who I'm presenting to the world. And I need to take charge of it. I need to control that narrative. Secondly, 2 minutes of preparation so that I can control that narrative better. It goes a long way. And thirdly, and most importantly, to take up space and be okay with taking up that space. I still stumble sometimes. Like I said, when I began this intro, I did a few more takes than I would care to admit. I still cringe sometimes, but I show up anyway, and I'm going to keep unmuting myself. So, what about you? Is this something you have struggled with? Drop me a comment below. I'd love to know your experiences and how you learn to overcome this awkwardness of self-introductions. If this video has resonated with you, please like, share, and comment. Until next time, keep unmuting her, and remember that her is you.